Hello, and thank you so much for clicking on this video. Today, I am going to be talking about all things about thriving in a really busy week. And I know that seems like an impossible task. It's a busy week. It might be a hectic week. It might even be an overwhelming week. And you go, Ish, how am I going to thrive in a week like that? So I wanted to talk you through what I did when I had one of those weeks. And quite recently, I had one of those weeks. It was like the busiest week that I've had probably in at least a year. And it was busy because I had my usual client load, and I love all my clients, but it's a full-on week when everyone is attending. And I also had all my beautiful mentees. I had sessions with all of them as well as that I had a coffee chat with another speechy friend of mine that we had scheduled months ago that just happened to fall into my busy week. I also had to have an extra meeting with my VA for the Speechy Life, and I was catching up with another speechy who was going to be trying to give me a bit more upskilling and education in working with First Nation families, which I was so excited about. And that was how my week was going to end. And I honestly did not see this week coming, which is a surprise because I am anally retentive about my weeks. But I happened to, on like the Sunday, have a look at the week ahead, thinking, oh, I've just got my clients, or I've got my mentee, or that's right, I'm going to be catching up with that speechy, or yeah, that's right, I'm going to be catching up with that speechy who's we're going to talk about First Nation families. And then I realized it was all happening in the same week, which just, I can't tell you how much my heart kind of sank when I realized that. And so I thought to myself, okay, well, the week is set. Yes, I can cancel and I can reschedule, I can shuffle, but let's have a look at how I can tackle this week and how I can tackle it really successfully. So I sat down and I thought about what is the one thing that I can do every single day this week that is going to make this week successful. So it wasn't about the admin tasks. It was much more about just me and my well-being. And this time round, it was sleep. So for me, I really thought if I was able to get a good night's sleep, and I can't control how well I sleep, and I do suffer from a bit of insomnia, but I thought if I can get to bed and have the lights off at 10:30 and then get up at 6:45 like we usually do, that is a good amount of sleep for me, and I will at least be able to wake up fresh rather than waking up cranky, and I can get on with my day. So for me, that was a really big one this time round. It also meant a couple of things. Because I had mentee sessions that were finishing quite late and I was not getting home till about 8:30, it really meant that I was not going to be able to do any work from home at all in the evenings. Now, I usually limit that anyway or try and avoid it, but in a really busy week, it is really tempting to get those admin tasks done after dinner. But I knew I couldn't because I needed to be able to mentally switch off in order to be able to go to sleep at 10:30. So by making that one decision, a few other decisions came through for me. Now, I say this time because it's not always been sleep. Sometimes in other times that I have had really busy weeks, it's being able to get consistent exercise. Other times it might be my eating that I really look at. Other times it might be just what time do I need to get home by? Or sometimes in busy weeks, especially when I had the larger practice, it was about all the things that I could actually control and had full control of and make sure that they were all executed so that there weren't any more surprises in my day and in my week. So it will change. So whilst you're watching this video, I want you to start thinking about what is the one thing when life is really hectic for you, what is the one thing that's going to make like the biggest difference for you, and get a paper and pen or get your mobile out and start jotting that down, because it's really good to do it when you're not busy and you're watching a video and you're trying to level up and you're trying to upskill. It's a good time to make those notes, because then when you do get into that situation, you've got all your strategies there and then you can pick the one that works best. So for me, for that really busy week, it was literally making sure I go to sleep at 10:30. So that meant that I had to, like turn off the TV at 10 o'clock. Paul and I had to do our nighttime routine and we had to be in bed and we had to have the lights off. And it meant that I had to be really disciplined about that. And that can be really hard for me. So it really took a lot of effort and boundary setting that I had, and those boundaries were for me so that I could follow through. Then the next thing that I did was I went, okay, I had my master planner and my weekly planner, which is in the downloadable link for you with this video. So I had a look at all my tasks that I had to get done this week. So that included like progress notes, sending out invoices, returning any calls and emails, but all the other things that I needed to get done for the Speechy Life, for all my mentee prep that I needed to get done. And I just listed it all out so that I could see it, not to get overwhelmed, but just to see everything that I needed to get done. And then I just prioritized it. And basically it was on urgent and important. So I was only dealing with urgent and important at any given time. And it also meant number three, the third thing I had to do was be really laser focused. So during the day, if I had 5 minutes, what was I going to do with those 5 minutes? If I was waiting for a client and they were running a bit late, what am I going to do with that time? So I was able to really, in my head, reorganize that to-do list and go, okay, the progress notes are things that I can get done in those short gaps, or the invoicing, something that I can get done in those short gaps. The emails are going to take a bit of a longer gap, or if I needed to talk to Robin, who's my VA, that was going to take a little bit longer, or when am I going to check all my WhatsApp messages, because I speak to my parents and my mentees and Robin via WhatsApp. So I had to really be mindful about how long each task is going to take, and when I could get those tasks done in my day. And being laser focused, that's not something that I do every single day of every single week, but that week, that's what I needed to do. And it genuinely worked for me. I was like, wow, you know, I got through that week and I felt really good about it. I got through that week and I wasn't rocking in a corner crying. And you guys know what I'm talking about in that. And I was just really, really proud of myself for being able to get through that week, and to get through that week and thrive and not feel like I was drowning in everything that I needed to do. And so tip number 5 that goes with that is I celebrated that, because that was really setting a line in the sand for me about what it is that I could do. Look, I am nowhere running towards having another week like that, but I know that if that was to come up, because I hadn't been so strict in how I was planning out my weeks, then I know that I can survive it. And so just to recap, the first thing that you're going to do is think about the one thing that is going to make a difference for the entire week, not just day by day or hour by hour, but the entire week. Then you are going to really map that out for yourself and figure out how you're going to make that happen. So if it is exercise, how are you going to fit in the exercise? If it is healthy eating, how are you going to fit in the healthy eating? If it is whatever your boundaries are, how are you going to fit that in? Number 3, you need to have a very clear plan of everything that you can possibly get done that week and what you need to start saying no to or push back to further weeks. Then number 4, you need to get laser focused. And number 5, you need to celebrate, because you've done that hard thing. And every time you do a hard thing, you need to celebrate so that you've got that memory, that really positive memory about it. And it just builds your confidence and it builds your self-awareness, and it helps you level up in your career and in your life. So I hope you found this helpful. If you have, please send me a DM on Instagram or send me an email letting me know how this video has helped you. I would love to hear from you. And click on the downloadable for your planner. Have a wonderful day. Bye.